Alright, continuing on, this first one I said was a little bit tricky because not like these other ones that go by ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5. This one goes 0, 2, 4, 9. So if they don't go by ones, we need to make them go by ones. So from 1 to 7, right now that's an adding of 6. So if I put a number between here, half of 6 would be 3. So this now goes in order 0, 1, 2. If I want to put a 3 between here, again, this is adding 6. So between here, if I divide it in half, I'd be adding 3, so I could put a 10. So now what we can see is that our pattern, add 3, add 3, add 3, add 3, works all the way across. I'm just going to ignore this last one down here. If I wanted to, I could put a 5, a 6, a 7, and 8 between there to get to 9, but that would be a lot more work. We really don't even care about those numbers over there because we only need to figure out the pattern, which we did, 3, and where our 0 is for our input. And 0 is at 1 right there, so it's a plus 1. Remember, whatever is added or subtracted to the end comes from where you're looking at x is 0. So for this next one, it was nice. They went by 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So our pattern, we're going down, or we're subtracting 5 each time. So our pattern is y equals negative 5x. And then at 0, we're at 0, so plus 0. Alright, these ones identify or write a rule for the function. You guys, we forgot to identify the domain and the range. Our domain every time is going to be our input, so these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. In our range or our output is going to be these numbers 1, 4, 7, and 10. If you wanted to list them out, you could. I'm not going to for the sake of time. Write a rule for the function. Okay, these don't all go by ones, but they do right here, 0, 1. So I know my pattern right here is going by ones, adding 1, 2, 3. If I wanted to put a 2, 3 here and a 5 here to make these go by ones, I could, but I really don't care about all these because I already know what my pattern is. And then look for where x is a 0, our input is a 0 here. So our output, our y value is 2, so it's a plus 2. Later on, when we get to chapter 4, this will make more sense when we start graphing, but this is how you get a table to an equation. If we want, again, our domain would be from the table 0, 1, 4, 6, and 10 from the top, and then our range, what we got out, would be 2, 3, 6, 8, and 12. Here, this one was nice, 1, 2, 3, 4, so our pattern here from 8 to 16, we add 8. That works from 16 to 24 as well. So our equation is y equals 8x. And then there's no 0 here, so working backwards, instead of adding 8, subtract 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. You don't really need the 0, but it shows me that you found where 0 was. And again, our domain, our x values 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then our range, we got out 8, 16, 24, and 32. Alright, last problem. We're going to ignore this last one down here as well. You are buying concert tickets that cost $15 each. Important information. You can buy up to 6 tickets. Write the amount in dollars you spend as a function of the number of tickets you buy. So a function is just another word for an equation. Then identify the independent variable and the dependent variable. Then identify the domain and the range. So in order to do this, I'm going to make a table, because if we're going to need an equation, we can only write an equation if we have an XY table. So plugging in our equation, we could plug in the number of tickets. So we could plug in a 0. If I'm buying 0 tickets, well, it's not going to cost me anything. If I buy 1 ticket, it's going to cost me, well, they're $15 each, so $15. If I buy 2 tickets, another $15 would be $30. 3 tickets would cost me $45. 4 tickets would cost me $60. 5 tickets would cost me $75. I'm just adding $15 each time. 6 tickets would cost me $90. But I can only buy up to 6 tickets. I must only have $90. I can't buy any more. So our equation or our function, well, our pattern, we're adding 15 every time. So our equation is y equals 15x. And then where x is 0, y is also 0, so it would be plus 0. There's our equation, but it has us identify quite a lot of information. So here, first our independent variables and our dependent variables. Our independent variable is what we're actually plugging in. What are we talking about? Not the numbers. X was really the tickets, how many tickets we could buy. And then what we get out, what is this? This is all money, or the cost in dollars. So our independent and dependent variables, remember those are going to be words. Our domain and range are going to be numbers. So our domain, what we plugged in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And our range, what we got out 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, and 90. That is it. We answered all parts of the question. Your homework for today, for 1.6, is a worksheet. Be careful on the back side when you're writing your equations. Make sure your x's go by ones. Otherwise, good luck.